Hi there folks, it's Jonathan Denwood from WP-Tonic, and in this video I'm going to be talking about form builders and specifically form builders that work with WordPress. So stay with us, I'll be back in a second. We're coming back, and in this video I'm going to be talking about form builder plugins. Now, I'm not going to be talking really that much about a form builder that can just build a contact us form. There's a lot of plugins out there that can just do that for you, free or paid for. But the other factor is if you're just looking for a contact form for your contact us page, most of the page builders nowadays, including Gutenberg, have that functionality inbuilt in them, like Elementor, Beaver Builder, Oxygen, Divi, and like I say, Gutenberg as well. They all have that functionality. Now, in this video, I want to talk about plugins that enable you to do more complicated forms and also offer a lot of integration with third-party services, payment gateways, Stripe, PayPal. These plugins offer a lot more power and functionality. The ones I'm going to be talking about also normally offer a free and also a paid versions of their free plugin, basically. So I'm going to start off with, and also this ain't going to be, I've chosen the ones that I've used over the years, I've looked at myself, or just basically look interesting. But I think I'm going to cover the main players. I'm going to start off with one that entered the market a couple of years ago and stirred it up a bit, and that's WP-Forms. Now, WP-Forms comes from the people that also do Opt-in Monster, the well-known and liked pop-up maker. You know, when you land on a website and then either you try and leave or you're on a certain page for a number of seconds and a pop-up appears. Love them or hate them, Opt-in Monster is one of the better tools for building those, and basically WP-Forms comes from the people that are behind Opt-in Monster and a number of other WordPress plugins. Now, they do a free version and also they do a paid version. The free version is cut down quite a bit, but you can build a contact form quite easily and other forms. But you soon have to look at their paid version. Now, one of my criticisms is the basic pricing. It is from an established WordPress development company that really know their business. It is a quality product, but the pricing was quite high. I know recently over the Thanksgiving and Christmas period, they've been offering a lot of discounts. So if you've been looking at WP-Forms, it's a good time to actually buy it. One of the other things is it does come with a really great and clean drag and drop interface. And they have also an extensive range of add-on plugins, and they have some functionality that's available with their plugin, which you won't find in a lot of the other people that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So it does have its strengths. But like I say, I think my main criticism is that some of their pricing I found a little bit on the high side, but that's just me. Now, we're going to talk Oh, the next one is anybody that's been in the WordPress ecosystem for any period of time, like myself, know about this plugin, and it's Gravity Forms. They were one of the premier plugins that built the premier plugin market in some ways, and they've been established for a number of years. I have a developer license, I've kept that. They give you a very large discount to keep that going. Its strength is that it's been in the market so long, and there's a lot of functionality that's inbuilt in it. And also, there's a lot of third-party add-ons that have been built around Gravity Forms. Not only, and some of these third-party add-ons are quite extensive, especially when you want to build graphs, or you want to use forms to build kind of custom information interfaces. There's a lot of third-party add-ons that have been specifically built to work with Gravity Forms. And if you're a hardcore developer or a quasar developer like me, there's a lot to like about Gravity Forms. Now, if you're one of the, I won't say a problem with it, but what's been consistently a bit troublesome is when you wanted to actually style the fields and the input boxes with Gravity Forms. That's always been a bit of a problem if you're not a hardcore developer type. Now, with the page builders, like Animator, Gravity Forms, a lot of them will work with Gravity Forms, so you can drag a shortcode, and then the form will appear in Animator, and then you will be able to style the form to a high degree. So that drawback has been removed if you're using a page builder. Now, what was another drawback with it? Well, funny enough, they brought this back, but they used to have a really fantastic forum. And then a couple of years ago, they decided they were going to close the forum down. And then you could only get support by sending in a ticket. Well, their forum was a feast of knowledge. If you were new and you got stuck and you did a search, a lot of the forum answers, it was a very active forum, put it that way. Now, they brought that back about a year ago, and I think that was a wise decision, but they do have a tendency just to make a decision and not really consult the community that's using their product a bit. And the owner has got a bit of a reputation to be, how to say, impulsive. But that maybe I'm being a little bit unfair there. Now, the next one we're going to go on is Nija Forms. That's my pronunciation of it. And they're a hybrid. They provide a really quite powerful free version, and then they also provide a paid version of their plugin. It's not one that I've used quite actively, but I know they've got a very large user base and they've got experienced joint owners, and they're well respected in the WordPress community. The free version does offer a lot of functionality. The pricing, there can be quite large jumps depending on the amount of licenses that you want. Like I say, I haven't got enormous experience in using that particular plugin, but I know a lot of people that I respect that use it. So it's definitely one that you want to look at. Now, the next one on the list is a new entry, but they've been quite aggressive when it comes to their functionality and pricing, and that's HappyForms. Now, I'm not actively used that one, but I have looked at it. For the free version, and then they have paid versions. They've been very aggressive on the pricing of their paid versions as well. Seems to offer a lot of functionality for the price. One of the criticisms I had initially by looking at other people saying, is that they are using the customizer, the inbuilt customizer in WordPress. Now, the customizer was really pushed by the top wigs in WordPress, as it was going to be the centralized area that was going to modernize the WordPress interface, and they encouraged everybody to jump into it and use the customizer. I've never liked it. Other people rave about it and really like it. I don't hate it. Like Astra themes, they also use the customizer quite heavily. I love Astra, so I'm quite happy to use it, but I would prefer not to. To me, it was always a very clunky interface and still is. It was something that the people behind WordPress try to push onto the WordPress community, and a lot of their ideas, they pushed it, and then they seemed to forget about it and went on to better things, and they have got a track record in doing that. So yes, so that is a decision that HappyForms decided to do. And you might, and I know there's loads of people that are really happy using the customizer, so you don't want to listen totally to my opinion, but it's my honest opinion. On to the next one, and that's Caldera Forms. Now, Caldera Forms, I'm not sure about this, but I think the chief developer has actually moved to WP-Forms. But I'm going to have to check on that, and I'll put that in the notes that supporting this video if I'm incorrect about it. But it's still active, you can still buy it. It was the darling of the developer crowd, like Gravity Forms. It offers a free version, which is quite powerful in its own, and then you can buy a paid version. But I would say that its main attraction is to the more developer type individual that is looking for some specific functionality or just likes how it works compared to Gravity Forms. And Gravity Forms, like I say, I bought into it a long time ago, and when it was on a special offer, and then I'm grandfathered in. But if you actually are a developer and you're looking for a developer type license with Gravity Forms, it is quite expensive. Kendora offered a much more price conscious way in getting similar kind of power of development, and the main developer, whose name escapes me, is very respected in the WordPress community. And I haven't used it actively myself, but I know that the code and the support and just the quality of the product was very respected in the WordPress community. So if you're more of a quasar power user, quasar developer, Kendora might be your cup of tea. Now, to go on to another one, Formidable, I'm pronouncing it correct, yes, Formidable Forms. Now, they've been on the market for quite a while. It's almost as long as Gravity Forms, I think. And I think it's a bootstrapped plugin. Very polished interface with loads and loads of integrations with almost everything you might need to integrate with. I've used it on a couple of projects. Like I say, it came with a nice drag and drop interface, very polished. They don't offer a free version. I think the pricing, it's not cheap, but I would say for what you're getting, it's still pretty good value. Because you can tell it's a polished, mature WordPress product that's been in the market a number of years, and they've just kept on adding on it and worked on it. It has got a really virulent and group of people that use it and love it. I don't think it is as publicized as effectively as WP-Forms and some of the other plugins that I've mentioned in this video, but it's definitely something you want to look at if you're looking for something to build out more complicated forms, and it definitely should be on your radar, but has a tendency to be a little bit forgotten about. I say that it's got a massive user. I think I forgot how many actual people are using it. It's substantial, but there's been plugins that I've hardly heard of, and then I've come across them and I found that there's over 200,000 people using them. There's over 16, I think about 16,000 plugins in the depository, the WordPress, so you can't follow them all, folks. Now, last but not least, and one that I've been using quite a bit is Fluent Forms. Now, just shows you can still enter the market, and they're a reasonably new player in the market, been around for a year, but they have really stirred things up quite a bit. It's one that we use in our packages that we give to clients. We tend to use Fluent Forms or Gravity Forms in our quiver. Now, the great thing with Fluent Forms is that their free version has functionality that you would have to pay quite considerable amount of money to get in a lot of the other plugins that I have mentioned. Advanced Logic is an example. Also, the drag and drop builder is lovely. Customizing the look of the form is a lot easier than some of the other plugins I've talked about in this review. And it's got a really modern interface, and the people behind it basically know what they're doing. They've got about 3 or 4 very popular plugins that got hundreds of thousands of users. They do offer a paid version of the plugin, and that offers one of the things that you're paying for is that you get a lot of templates, pre-designed forms in the free version. When you go to a paid version, they go potty. You know, they've got like hundreds of pre-made forms, and it does save time, and they're well-designed templates as well. I really love it, and I would really advise you to download the free version and use that. And then if you do need additional functionality, I definitely recommend the paid version. And normally the pricing is quite attractive, and then they've been offering around Black Thursday, Friday, Cyber Friday, and around the holiday period, they've been offering some substantial discounts. But the normal price structure I still think is really good value for what you get, especially around their multi-site licensing plans. They also offer a lifetime license plan as well. So I think it's a really quality product with a recognised power team behind it, and just really good value as well. So definitely have a look at that as well. I'm going to wrap up this plugin review for the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, and hopefully you got some value. If you did, subscribe to the WP channel and also click the bell so when a new video comes up, you'll be notified, and we're publishing videos every week. So there's plenty of content, new content for you to absorb. I'll see you soon, folks. Bye.